Hello, it's Zannah, Artistic Director and CEO of Pavilion Dance Southwest here for my weekly update. Earlier on, I was in a large national dance network meeting and was asked just to share a few things that are on my mind. So I thought I would share the same few things with you. Firstly, it is the abandonment of my children, my 11 and 12-year-old, who are working on assignments at home. And at the beginning of COVID-19, I thought I would be able to spend time with them on their work. And actually, there is so much work to do with PDSW that I haven't been giving them the time. And they've had to learn to work independently. And they're spending their work time on the internet, and they're spending their entertainment time on the internet, on TikTok or Duo or Fortnite, to stay in touch with their friends. And thinking really around what that means long term, their experience right now, their internet lifestyle, no other generation has spent so much time on the internet at such a young age. And what does that mean for the future? What will they want the future to be like? What will they make the future like? And also the fact that some children live in really supportive homes, but what about those children who don't have access to a computer, who can't stay in touch, who don't have a supportive environment? And the fact that there may well be a bit of an academic and a poverty situation really coming up because of the lack of access to studies and social support in this time. And I think we need to think really carefully about the work we do in the arts with children and young people going forward, and how this may change what we need to think about, or make it more important, some of the elements that we were doing before. Staying in touch with our communities. PDSW started as a dance development organisation. It became a building-based organisation in 2010, but has always kept up its outreach work and its connection and networking across dance communities. And now that we've lost access to our building temporarily, all of that work is more visible and becomes what we are again. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that shows that we are not just bricks and mortar, but that we are people and individuals with a passion for what we do and a desire to connect artists and communities. So yeah, a reminder really that that is at the root of what we are. The autumn. How do we reimagine our programme going forwards? Can we think differently about how we'll adapt our work with social distancing requirements? We've no idea when we will get back as a theatre and as a dance organisation working in communities. But what might it look like? What could it look like? How do we take some control by deciding to think differently now, so that we can actually plan things that will definitely happen, rather than thinking about things that may not be able to happen? How by doing that can we avoid crisis in the future? But also, how do we raise money when our earned income is through our classes, through our hires, etc.? So lots of thinking about reimagining that autumn programme, maybe spring programme too. So we're collectively thinking about that and talking to colleagues about what they're thinking. Acts of kindness. Esme Fairbairn Foundation and Winston Churchill Memorial Trust have both been in touch with offers of support this week, for which I cannot tell you how grateful I am. And it brought a tear to my eye. And I think the important thing is to pass on the acts of kindness and to pass those on to the public and artistic communities that we work with wherever we can. And lastly, equity and solidarity politics. I attended a CLAW Foundation, a CLAW leadership international Zoom call yesterday with contributors from Hong Kong and South Africa. And the South African delegates in particular were really inspiring in terms of how can we change things to be more equitable in the future. Equitable in recognising the vulnerability that our independent sector has faced in this time. Recognise the inequality in poverty, in wealth, in access to the arts, access to the internet. How can we think about a fairer way of being in the future? And the term that one of those contributors used, solidarity politics, I think can really influence how we think forward, how we programme forward. So I leave you today with acts of kindness, how we can receive them and how we can pass them on. And I wish you well. Bye-bye.